So it's been a little while since I've created YouTube videos or published in my blog, regularly. And the truth is that life happened. I got married, I've been working really hard in my new job, and I've been growing Binky Barker as well. But I'm back, and I want to talk about why. Essentially, it's taking inspiration from several books, including Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, conversations with Ali Abdaal, Paul Millard, Chris Williamson, and other creators, other curious people who release content again and again. And listening to them, it kind of inspired me to recreate again as a means not necessarily just of self-promotion, but as a means of almost self-invention and kind of therapeutic building something, right? So in this video, I just wanted to talk about why I'm creating again. First one, we need a creative outlet. And I think this applies to all, hardworking people. So I work in software sales. It's a very mentally taxing job. I'm negotiating, I'm creating offers, I'm dealing with a lot of people, all this kind of stuff. And I feel like outside of that, I need some kind of creative release. Right? I feel like I'm a creative person. I used to draw, I used to play guitar, all of this kind of stuff. And when I'm creating YouTube videos and when I'm writing a newsletter, I'm able to exercise this element of creativity, writing a script and putting together different ideas and, setting up everything, the microphone, the camera, all of this kind of stuff. Creating is fun, and there is a therapeutic element to that. Following positive signals. So more recently, I've been hearing people say how important it is to follow your gut, right? Your inner feelings. I was talking to my trainer as well, and he was saying, listening to the inner voice, and there's, several books on this as well. And there's a good quote from Derek Sivers, which is, whatever excites you, go do it. Whatever drains you, stop doing it. I think it sums it up quite neatly, actually, in that we have to listen to our positive energy signals. And, I do get good vibes, when I'm creating. I feel rewarded when I release a video. So I feel like it's important. I like creating YouTube videos. It makes me feel good, so I'm going to do it. To capture the past. So I read a book called Storyworthy by a guy called Matthew Dix, and I read this last year, right? And he talked about how he likes to journal every day, and one of the key reasons for that is it's a way of capturing moments, capturing the past, and essentially I think capturing lessons as well. So in the book Show Your Work, the author Austin Kleon, he recommends to, quote, become a documentarian of what you do. Start a work journal, write your thoughts down in a notebook, or speak them into an audio recorder. And more recently, I'm storing all of my great ideas, all of these moments, in a Notion notebook. I'm able to look through all of these ideas that I've had, or all of these ideas that I've heard, right? And be able to relate these to each other. And this is a way of capturing these ideas, capturing my past, capturing these moments in my life where, I will discover things. And then finally, to bring these ideas together in YouTube videos or in blog posts where I can kind of cement these ideas in my mind and online. To find myself. This is an interesting one. So I believe that we are a collection, of our thoughts, of our experiences, of what we've learned in the past. And, the more I gather, the more that I create, the more ideas that I bring together, the more I kind of invent myself and evolve myself. By following my interests, by following my curiosities, by learning, bringing things together, publishing YouTube videos, I feel like I'll be able to evolve who I am as a person. And to quote the 18th century philosopher Giambattista Vico, virum ipsum factum, we only know what we make, right? And he was quoted in Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte. And that's pretty interesting, right? We only know what we make. And in learning, right, making things is evidently a very powerful way of remembering what you learn, right? So teaching, right, or publishing or making, right, doing it helps you learn it, right? So the fact that I'm creating these YouTube videos and creating a blog, in my opinion, helps me learn it and helps me find myself and invent myself. Austin Kleon says, don't think of your website as a self-promotion machine, think of it as a self-invention machine. And finally, and selfishly, to show my work, right? Quoting David Carr, the journalist, talking to his students, You have to make stuff. No one is going to give a damn about your resume. They want to see what you have made with your own little fingers. And this is from that book, Show Your Work. You have to read it. It is so good. It's clear that unless you publish, unless you release things, nobody knows about your skills or your talents. Nobody knows that you did that, right? Only you know it. Only your inner team know it. And this is why I'm starting to publish things now on LinkedIn, because unless you publish, unless you write about it, unless you talk about it, nobody knows. And I think that's a wasted opportunity. I think everybody else, we want some recognition of what we do. We want to be able to be heard, right? And it's a selfish reason, but it is a reason, and that reason is to show my work. So those are the reasons why I'm starting to publish more and more. Some of them are to do with self-improvement, some of them are more selfish, but overall I feel like I'm going to be creating more. So hopefully I can stick to it. Hopefully even though with my busy work life and all of this, I'll be able to keep creating. And it's one of those commitments I'm going to have to myself, is to keep creating, keep publishing my work, all of this kind of stuff. And if you do it as well, cool. If you haven't done it, definitely consider doing it. I feel like creating is such a beneficial thing that we can do in our lives.